ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ऋकारस्वन्दकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम ब्रह्मविदा आप्नोति परम तदेषाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेद निहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सः ब्रह्मणा विपश्चितेति। ओम शांति शांति शांति। अन्नं न निन्द्यात् तद्व्रतम्। After completing the Akhyayika, the story of Bhrigu and Varuna, the Shruti moves to certain vratams. Like Bhashyakara introduced the Bhriguvalli as the section focused on Upasana. In fact, Bhashyakara said the Brahma Vidya has been covered in the Brahmananda Valli. Certain upasanas are still to be told, and since they have not been yet covered, this section starts, is how he introduced this section. With that in perspective, the initial part of Bhriguvalli focused on an Akhyayika which emphasized on the importance of tapaha. Tapasa Brahma Vijijñāsasva. Tapas was spoken about. And we saw that tapas is about giving time, dwelling time on this knowledge. Because today also people ask this question, right? It is very easy. I hear this awareness, consciousness is Brahman, but I am not able to recognize. So, and then people drop off. Okay, because the way of learning in today's world is, okay, you read a sentence, you try 2-3 days, 2-3 times on it, you just see what you understand from it, then we move on, right? That is how the modern education system and even the ancient systems were also like that. But there is a different kind of learning in our system, right? Like your classical music, for example. So if you just hear one song 2 times, you won't be able to appreciate it. They talk about ragas, swaraprasthana. We don't understand. 2-3 times we hear and then we say, okay, no, this is not for me. And then we go to some film music, right? Because this system of music needs a certain amount of dwelling time. Once you dwell on it for a period of time, then you start appreciating the richness of that particular art form. what initially doesn't appeal because you are not able to appreciate what is going on. Nothing wrong. This is a very common phenomenon. It's not something for people to feel bad about. That is another thing. They say, why should music be so complicated? See, anything rich, anything which is deeply moving needs a certain amount of dwelling time. Even literature is the same. You have to appreciate Kalidasa and all these kavyas. You should invest time. There should be a dwelling time because time creates an environment where you start appreciating it. Like that is this Brahma Vidya also. Pujya Swamiji, I think I told in the last class, says it is like an increasing clarity. I think I told in this class only or in Bhagavad Gita class when I initially went and met one Swamiji long back when I was a 16-year-old boy. And my grandfather, I that time had got a book by Annie Besant, translation of Bhagavad Gita. Very simple translation, just a literal translation. Somebody gifted to me. Obviously, I didn't understand much of what was there, but I read it, and it will have all this old Shakespearean English. No, thou shall not engage in pursuit, something like that. If kamat krodat bhavati sammoha, it will say thou shall not get angry and all that, right? So that kind of a translation I used to read. And the Swami, one Swami by name Krishnananda, we went and met uh, in 1980, late 80s or early 90s sometime. And that Swami told, my grandfather said, this my grandson reads Bhagavad Gita and all that is reading translation. Then that Swami told, you have to keep repeating the same chapter multiple times, and every time you read it, your clarity will go up. Is what he advised me. I didn't understand that time because it, anyway it was a simple translation. If I don't understand it first time, how will I understand it third time? Is what I used to think. But later on, I started to recognize what he really meant. So the dwelling time is very important. And anyway, we don't have a choice. This Shastra is the only option. If you have to get moksha, there is no other option anyway. Otherwise, you have to go wait for going to heaven after death. Okay. So there is only everything else except for Buddhism. Everybody talks about only post-death travel. That means you don't have a choice anyway. That's one thing. But more importantly, once you have taken up the pursuit, anyway, until you get that, get to the goal, it is very difficult to rest. Okay. So therefore, this dwelling time is very important, and that is what is called as tapas. Okay, not meditation. Okay, this is vichara. Yasya jnanamayam tapaha vicharatmakam tapas. So that has been spoken about as the primary upasana. Now some other upasanas are also spoken about, and there was a section of upasana before Brahmanandavalli in Sikshavalli. But this is an upasana that comes after Brahmanandavalli because here the Brahmavastu Jnanam is already completed in Brahmanandavalli. Therefore, this has to be taken more as a manana or manana nididhyasana rather than as an upasana which goes before. So it is not for as a preparation for jnanam, but this is more as a nididhyasana once somebody has gained, some level of knowledge. That is when this upasana is becomes contextual. Therefore, annam na nindyat tadvratam. So we saw this in the last class. Annam na nindyat. There is a vratam. Don't ignore. Don't do ninda of annam. Kincha annena dvara bhutena brahma vijnatam yasmat tasmat gurumiva annam na nindyat. Because annam is like a doorway, is the pathway to Brahman. Both because your body is annam. That is one reason. Second, annam pranam chakshushrotram is how your Vicharadwara is spoken about. Therefore, also this Annam is Brahmadwaram. Like Guru is Brahmadwaram. Guru is the one through whom the knowledge comes to you. So the Guru is the conduit for this Jnanam. Shastra and Guru are always together because Sampradaya and Shruti, Pramana. Without Pramana, you don't have a valid knowledge because a means of knowledge is essential for one to gain a knowledge, right? Without a means of knowledge, how will you know? Otherwise, it's only Brahma. I can keep asking the question, who am I, who am I, who am I? But if I get an answer, how do I know that it's a valid means of, that is, it's a valid knowledge? How do I know? See, Muhammad, they say, right, in the dream, this satanic verses and all that, they say, God came in the dream, and for most of the messengers, it's the same. But what is the validity of that pramana? Dream is not a pramana. Dream is not a valid means of knowing, isn't it? Then it is only Shraddha, belief. That's why they are called faiths. It's faith. I believe in his dream being true. That is faith. Somebody got a dream, and in that dream, God came and told something to that person in the dream. And we want to believe in that person's dream that God really came in that person's dream. So that is a faith. I'm not saying right or wrong in this, but it is a belief. But is it a valid pramana? Is dream a pramana? Is it a means of knowing? Right? So that question comes. Therefore, you need to have a valid means of knowing. Now, in the case of Shastra also, you start with a belief only, that it can be a valid means of knowledge. But then there is a difference. We have seen it many times. The difference is the knowledge happens here when one is alive. So this Shastra is not coming and telling that your knowledge happens after you go to Swarga or Kailasa. It is right here and now. Therefore, while you start with the Shraddha, but it is a verifiable belief. It is not a non-verifiable belief. It can be verified when you are alive. Therefore, it's a pramana. Avasyaktvam is there. And sampradaya also has to be there because the Shastra needs to be understood and interpreted. It can lead to confusions. And the person who has the vision, total vision, can only handle the words in a way that the student can understand. That is, and the person can handle it because that person was also taught the same way. Nothing special about that person. Because that person himself or herself, being a sampradaya has come from through the sampradaya, has learnt it through the sampradaya. Therefore, that person also knows the methodology of teaching because that person has been taught by the same methodology. So the sampradaya also goes along with Shruti, Pramana. Both have to be together. In such a case, that Guru becomes a conduit for gaining this jnanam. Just like Annam is a conduit for jnanam, both because it is your body is nothing but Annam. Everything here is Annam. In Ayurveda, they say your ahara is not just the food you take through mouth. The air you breathe, the weather that you live in, things that you touch, where you sleep, the kind of cleanliness that you have in your beds and the home and the things that you listen to, the emotional environment again around you, the music that you hear, everything is an ahara. Ahara is in the form not just physical, eaten food, but in terms of sounds, in terms of air, in terms of you know, the ecosystem. Therefore, everything becomes annam only. And Ayurvedic treatments are also comprehensive in that sense. Like that, annam is dwaram, because through that only you understand the samashti, and then you get into understanding the Brahman. Therefore, it is a dwaram for Brahman. Similar, just like the Guru is dwaram for Brahman. Therefore, you treat food in a way that you will treat your Guru. Okay. Tat asyevam brahmavidah vratam upadishyate. व्रतोपदेशः अन्नस्तुतये स्तुतिभाक्त्वं च अन्नस्य ब्रह्मोपलब्धि उपायत्वात्. So because annam is brahmopalabdhi upayam, it has the stature of being praised. Therefore, Shruti itself praises annam. Okay, prano va annam shariramannadam. Like we said, annam is not just only what comes out of plants. Adyate iti annam. Whatever is consumed is food. Okay, like plants don't consume like us, right? It just extracts minerals. That is annam for the plants. Even sunlight, chlorophyll, right? Yeah. So all that sunlight becomes an annam, and carbon dioxide becomes an annam for plants. So it is annam, right? Prana is annam, because whatever you consume is annam. That's it. Pranova annam, shariramannadam, the energy. Boost is the secret of my energy, right? What are we selling there? Energy only, right? Though you are the what in the minds of the consumer, we are selling energy. When Boost came, their brand thinking was there is no drink which focuses on energy. Drinks are all focusing on vitamin, health, and protein and all that, not energy, right? So they brought this concept of energy drink. So what are you selling? Energy. So you consume the energy, right? Similarly, pranova annam. Prana is energy for this body, and this body is consuming that energy through the air, whatever, right? Whatever is the source of energy, even sunlight, vitamin D, all that. So we have to be there. Doctors they nowadays say, no, go and stand in the sunlight for 15 minutes and consume the sunlight. So what are you consuming there? Energy only, no? So whatever that goes with it. Pranova annam shariramannadam. The shariram, physical body, is dependent on prana for energy. The moment energy is gone, the shariram is useless. Prane shariram pratishthitam. Therefore, the body is established in prana, because without prana, the body doesn't. The annamaya sharira, it doesn't hold an existence. Sharire prana pratishtitaha. Similarly, where is the prana? It is within the sharira. So tadetad annam anne pratishtitam. One anna is within another annam. Sayaye tadannamanne pratishtitam veda pratitishthati. So the one who meditates, Bhashikara, this Veda, he takes it as upaste, meditates, contemplates. So while this can be taken as jnanam also, recognizing, but it can also be taken as kind of contemplation. Etadannamanne pratishtitam veda pratitishthati. So one who contemplates on what? That there is a mutual dependence on the physical body and prana. So they are mutually dependent, and then you recognize that. Close your eyes and contemplate how the samashti annam and samashti prana are together. It's all standpoints. You don't know what is eating what, because a karta and karma is all mithya only. There is no, because if you look at it from one standpoint, the prana is anna and sharira is atta. Atta is the eater. If you take from another standpoint, prana is satta and shariram is annam. So basically, you can't split the two, vagartha viva samprikta kind of thing. They have to be together. Mahan bhavati prajaya pasubhir brahmavartasena. If you meditate this way, then you gain whatever was promised for anna upasana. The same thing you gain even for prana upasana. Prano vayannam Bhashyakara sharirantarbhavat pranasya yat yasyantaha pratishthitam bhavati tat tasyannam bhavati iti. So he gives a very beautiful definition of what is annam. He says sharira antarbhavat pranasya. The prana is within the body. So, and then he gives a hetu, the basic definition, yat yasyantaha pratishthitam bhavati tat tasya annam bhavati. Whatever is inside another thing, suppose A is inside B, then A can be said to be the food for B. That is the definition is given. Like your food is inside your stomach, then it is your food. Chlorophyll is within the leaves. Chlorophyll is the food for the plants. Like that. Yat yasyantah pratishtitam bhavati tat tasya annam bhavati iti. Once it is inside, it can be seen as annam. Only for living creatures, right? We are not. You can't say that a computer has motherboard. Is it annam? That's not the point here. For the living things, whatever is inside is it has eaten it. So that's how he's looking at Sharirantar Bhavat Pranasya. Because prana is inside Sharira, therefore you can consider prana as the food for Shariram. Sharire cha prana pratishtitaha tasmat pranaha annam Shariram annadam. Therefore, Sharira is dependent on prana. That's why it is its food. It's not just inside, but it's also dependent. That means it is consuming. Correct? Because not only it is inside Sharira, but there is a dependence, there is a pratishtitaha. Therefore, it is prana is helping Sharira to survive. Therefore, Sharira is, you can clearly understand that Sharira is consuming the prana, so prana becomes food for Sharira. Tasmat pranaha annam Shariram annadam. Shariram is the eater. Tata Shariram api annam pranam annadaha pranaha annadaha. Similarly, Shariram is Annam and Prana Annada. How? Kasmat Prane Shariram Pratishtitam Tannimitatvat Sharirasthirehe. The Sharirasthiti is dependent on Prana. Therefore, it is the Prana on which Shariram being dependent. Prane Shariram Pratishtitam. Therefore, Tasmat Tadetad Ubayam Shariram Pranascha Annam Annadascha. One is becoming Annam because it is sitting inside. The another is becoming Annam because Prana is consuming the body. Because it is because of Prana this body is acting. So therefore, both of them are Annam and Annadascha. So contemplate that way. Tasmat etadubhayam shariram pranascha annam annadascha. Shariram is also both annam and annada. Prana also is both annam and annada. Yena anyonyasmin pratishtitam tena annam. Each one is dependent on the other. Therefore, they both can be called as annam. Yena anyonyasya pratishtha tena annadaha. Okay, so one is within the other, therefore that is annam. One is dependent on the other, therefore it is anadha. Okay, Sharira is controlled by prana and pranan is sitting within Sharira. Therefore, each one becomes an anna and as well as annadha. Tasmat pranaha shariram cha ubhayam annam annadam cha sa yaha evam etad annam anne pratishtitam veda pratitishthati anna annada atmana eva kincha annavan annado bhavati ityadi purvavat. Therefore, he says yaha veda here, the one who recognizes it. or contemplates this way, both are okay, because you can recognize it also because it is factual. Also, you keep contemplating on this, and in a samashti format, not just the veshti also. In samashti, the samashti annam and samashti prana are together. The sutratma as well as hiranyagarbha or virat in this case are each becoming annam and annadaha. Therefore, whoever contemplates this way becomes annavan, mahan bhavati, and all that. He has an abundance of food. Then the next vratam, annam na parichakshita, don't waste food. Tad vratam, apo va annam jyotirannadam apsujyoti pratishtitam. Apaha means water, jyotihi means fire, agni here. So again, apava annam jyotirannadam apsujyoti pratishtitam jyotishyapah pratishtitaah tade tadannamanye pratishtitam sayaye tadannamanye pratishtitam veda pratitishthati अन्नवान् अन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर् ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या. The Palastuti is the same. For whatever was said for Annam was also told for Prana, and now here also Apaha and all that, it is the same. Annavan Annada Bhavati, Mahan Bhavati, Prajaya Pashubihi, Brahmavachasena, Mahan Kirtya. So the person who contemplates and recognizes this way gains abundance of food, also gains greatness, is the phala. Okay. Now coming to Apova Annam, let's see the Bhashyam, because otherwise we'll be repeating the same thing. Bhashyakara, Annam na parichikshita na pariharet tadbratam, don't waste food. So Shruti itself says this. That's why in our culture we say that don't waste food. From the childhood we are told we shouldn't waste food, because food is a Brahma Upalabdhi, right? Brahma Dwaram, already told. Also, if you can't eat, somebody is always there to eat that food who is starving. So generally it's said that food shouldn't be wasted. Annam na parichakshita na parihare tadvratam purvavate stutyartham तदेवं शुभाशुभकल्पनया अपरिगृह्यमाणं स्तुतं महीकृतमन्नं स्यात्. So Shubha this is a good food, this is bad food, this is tasty food. So with that kind of a kalpana, you shouldn't be choosing to waste or use the food. Aparigrihyamanam stutam mahikritamannam syat. Evam yatoktam uttareshu api apo va annam ityadi adishu yojayet. So include the same what he is saying. Okay, so he has covered the meaning for apova annam. So let us look at it. Apova annam. So apaha jalam is annam. For what? What is the annada for jalam? Jyotihi annadam. Fire eats water, right? Because it evaporates. The fire from sunlight consumes the water from ocean, rivers, and all that, and creates a vapor, water vapor. Therefore, he says, Apova annam jyotir annadam. Fire heats up water, apsujyoti pratishtitam. Therefore, water is also dependent on fire, because then only it can become cloud and come back. Jyotishyapa pratishtita. So in fire there is water content, and in water there is always latent heat. Therefore, there is a mutual dependence. Tade tadannamanne pratishtitam. Therefore, both there is this, one is annam for another, and the other is annam for this. Just like the prana and anna were actually mutually dependent. Similarly, here also fire and water, you can say there is a mutual dependency. So you contemplate that way, is what was told here. So since it is simple, Bhashyakara is not dwelling specifically on this particular thing. Annam bahukarvita tadvratam. Other vratam after annam na parichakshita, here annam bahukurvita. May you create abundance of food so that you can feed people. Bahukurvita tadvratam. Shastra itself says. Not like today, most of the agricultural fields are being converted into, highways and um, real estate plots, right? So generally, the importance of food was stated in Shastra itself. Annam bahukurvita tadvratam apsu jyotihi iti abjyotishoho anna annada gunatvena upasakasya annasya bahukaranam vratam. So here Bhashikara says, for whom is this vratam? This vratam is apsujyoti pratishtitam. So if you do the upasana, that apaha and jyoti are interdependent. For that person, this anna bahukaranam vratam, he is connecting the two. Prithvi va annam akashonnadaha पृथिव्याम आकाश प्रतिष्ठितः आकाशे पृथिवी प्रतिष्ठिता तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या पृथिवी वा अन्नम. So he comes to the end, starting from Anna, Prana and all that. Now Prithvi also is Annam. For who? For the Akasha. Again, why? Because he already gave the definition, right? Bhashikara said, what is inside another becomes a food for it. So Prithvi is within Akasha only. So because Prithvi is within Akasha, he says Prithvi is Annam for Akasha. Prithvyam Akasha Pratishtitaha. Akashe Prithvi Pratishtha. Okay, so again mutual dependency. If you look at it from the earth, within earth also there is space, and earth is also within space. Therefore, there is again a annam anne pratishtitam. You can contemplate on this. Let's see the bhashya. Yeah. Na kanchana vasatau pratyachakshita tadvratam. Okay, so still vakya is there, Shruti vakya, before we go to bhashya. तस्माद्यया कया च विदया बह्वन्नं प्राप्नुयात् अराध्यस्मा अन्नमित्याचक्षते. Okay, now bhashyam starts. Tata prithiviyakashopasakasya. The one who is doing upasana of Prithvi and Akasha as mutual dependent, as a food and eater, for that person, vasatau vasati nimittam kanchana kanchidapi na pratyachakshita. If somebody comes for shelter, vasati nimittam kanchana kanchidapi na pratyach, don't turn that person away. If somebody comes to your home, so this is what translated into our culture in those days. The people built houses for the yatris, and people just go from one place to another, and then they always have place to stay. Either they stay on somebody's outer this thing, or there are chatrams and all that, right? The shalas. So vasatau vasati nimittam kanchana kanchidapi na pratyachakshita. Don't turn anybody away. Vasati artamagatam na nivarayet ityartaha. Okay, so you should give shelter to people. And then Bhashikara says, Vase chadatte avashyam hi ashanam datavyam. If you are giving shelter, you have to naturally give food also. Food was never sold before 1900s in India. The culture was you cannot sell food. That's why hotels and restaurants and all were not there in those days. You can only give food. You can't sell it. So Vase cha datte avashyam hi ashanam datavyam. This was a culture. If you see in some old movies and all, without giving food to one person, you are not supposed to eat. That's why nowadays, at least to a crow, you give food, right? Before giving food to the crow, you don't eat, because at least one, because crow, they say, no, in Tamil, kakai karava karaindunam. It shares its food. Because crow shares its food, crow is considered like an atiti. So you look at, always you should feed one atiti before you even eat. So in this movie, one Tamil movie, Avvayar, I was watching some time back, was taken in 40s or 50s. In that there is a miser, and that miser will tell his servant, just go out and at the right time when nobody is around, just call for food and then come back. So there was this custom that you are supposed to go out and call, is anybody there for food? Okay, and then once they come, then you feed them, and then only you can eat. So even though this guy doesn't want to feed anybody, but because of the custom, he doesn't want to be seen as not calling anyone. Okay. So for the sake of it, he is asking his servant to go, and so that was the culture. It was so tight that you are supposed to feed people before you eat. So food was never sold. And in fact, in some temples like Guruvayur and all that, they say late in the night when they always feed people, but even late in the night, once the temple closes, there is a place outside where they will come and dump food, and then only close the temple so that people who come late in the night can also eat. So that is all based on the Shruti Vakya. Vase cha datte annam na parichikshi, and here also is the Vakya is about Vasa, right? Na kanchana vasatau pratyachakshita. Don't turn away anybody who comes for shelter. That person also has to be fed. Vase cha datte avashyam hi ashanam datavyam tasmat. And then that next sentence is Shrutivakya tasmat yaya kaya cha vidya bhagvannam prapnuya. By any means may you gain food. This beg, borrow, and steal is what we say, right? Similarly, yaya kaya cha vidya yena kena prakarena bhagvannam prapnuya. So by somehow, so and then this Tikakara here, I was reading the Tikakara says, Varna, he says, Yenatena cha prakarena, Swavarnashrama vihitena iti seshaha, is how he adds. Okay, Yenakena prakarena doesn't mean that you do it in an immoral way. Okay, within the allowed system, whatever is the means that you can use to gain food. Basically, you can borrow, or you sow, or you buy, whatever, right? So by acquiring the essentials, you create the food. That's all. Dasmat yaya kaya cha vidya ena kena cha prakarena bhagvannam prapnuyat. Bahu anna sangraham kuryat ityartha. You collect food, okay, in plenty, so that you can feed when people come. Yasmat annavantaha vidvansaha abhyagataya annarthine aradi samsiddhim asmay annam mitya chakshate. The food is ready. Aradi samsiddhim asmay annam. The food, the lunch is ready. Because again the vakyam is there. Aradyasma annam mitya chakshate. They say when anybody comes to home, they say food is ready. Or they don't say we just wait, we are going to cook, or we, that's aradhi samsiddhim asmay annam iti achakshate, they say. Because abhyagataya annartine, when someone comes for food, immediately they say food is ready, please come and eat. Okay, na nasti iti pratyakhyanam kurvanti, they never say no, there is no food here today. Like we see, the story in Mahabharata, right, where Draupadi, she couldn't say no when Durvasa came for lunch. He deliberately comes late to create a problem. And then there is, the story goes that there is nothing, and there is only one, one particle of food which is there, and then Bhagavan eats that, and then all the rishis become full, right? Sadhus become full. Because you can't say, you can't turn away people who come for food. Na nasti iti pratyakyanam kurvanti tasmacha hetoho bhagavannam prapnyat iti purvena sambandha. Therefore, you have to connect it to bhagavannam prapnyat yaya kaya cha vidaya, by some means. Make sure that you create food in plenty. Etadvai. These are all, kind of combination of upasana, vratam, and all that. So there are some vows you take that I will feed, I won't turn away anybody, like that. Etadvai mukatonnagam radham mukatosma annagam radhyate. Etadvai madhyatonnagam radham madhyatosma annagam radhyate. Etadva antatonnagam radham antatosma annagam radhyate. Evam veda. We'll see, because it's a detailed bhashya. Api cha annadanasya mahatmyam uchyate. So the annadana's mahatmyam is being spoken about here. These are all, so this annadanam is there in India, right? I said annam is always given away in dhanam. Anna vikriyam is never done. You don't sell. You can sell raw materials, that's a different thing, but not cooked food. Cooked food was not sold. In fact, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, didn't know about this. He had a restaurant in Tiruvannamalai long back. I'm talking about 50s or before. And the moment he came to know about this, he closed it the same night, and then he started some other textile or something. That was the kind of this thing that time. Annadanasya mahatmyam uchyate. The greatness of annadanam. Yatha yatkalam prayachyati annam tata tatkalameva pratyupanamate. So, in what age and what format you give, in the same way you will get also, is what Bhashyakara says. Kathamiti tadetadaha. Because the Shruti Vakya is Mukatonnagam etadvai mukato annagum radham mukato asmai annam radhyate. Okay, this Mukataha Bhashyakara, two meanings he gives. One is in a early age, prime age. Okay, the other is in the proper way. Okay, both the meanings he takes for Mukataha. Therefore, in prime age, if you feed, in prime age itself, you are fed with adequate food. Also, if you give in, again, Mukataha, if you take as in the proper way, like with a prayerful attitude, you also get food with a prayerful attitude from others, is how he takes this Vakya. Therefore, he summarizes that upfront, saying Yatha Yatkalam Prayachyati, Yatha and Yatkalam Prayachyati Annam Tatha Tatkalameva Pratyupanamate. Yatha, in which way, in what is the process by which you are giving, with what level of Shraddha, and Yatkalam, in what age do you feed people, in your prime age, or in the middle age, or only when you have become old you realize that you have to feed people. Depending on that, you also gain. This is how it is said. That's why Madhyatotma means in the middle age. Then Antatosmai means in the later ages. So these are all upasanas. Okay. So I mean, we have to give it its importance, but I don't. This is not to put people in guilt trip or anything like that. So just trying to understand what Shastra is saying. Okay. Apicha अन्नदानस्य माहात्म्यमुच्यते यथा यत्कालं प्रयच्छति अन्नं तथा तत्कालमेव प्रति उपनमते कथमिति. How is it tadetadaha? Shruti itself says etadvai annam mukataha. What is mukataha? Pratame vayasi, in the early age, okay, or prime age. Mukhyaya vavritya, or you can say instead of mukataha, it can take it as mukhyaya vritya. What is mukhyaya vritya? Puja purassaram, with all atiti satkaram and all that. So, like I think we covered in one class, Pujisamji says, in India, the way you feed people, it is like you are twice blessed. Why are you twice blessed? Because the giver always gives with an attitude of puja purasaram, with a prayerful attitude. The person, the Atithi is Deva, Atithi Devo Bhava. The person who is come to eat the food is doing me a service. I am blessed by being able to feed this person. So there is a sense of gratitude, gratefulness to the person who is come to eat. And they are seen as Bhagavan itself, right? Atithi. So the person, it's not like we share a pittance, I have something, hey, you come and eat and go, I don't care type of thing, right? It is, and then we prostrate, we do all that, right? We wash their feet. That is puja purasaram. The person who comes to eat also doesn't feel very lowly if it is done this way. So that person also feels that that person, he or she, is doing something good by coming and eating in this person's place. All that is because Shruti says this. Mukhya yava vritya puja purasaram abhyagataya annarthine sadham samsiddham. So if you feed this person in the proper way, somebody who has come for food, you feed that person with the proper attitude and in an early age, then annam annarthine radham samsiddhim prayachati iti vakyaseshaha. तस्य किं फलं स्यादिति उच्यते मुखतः मुख्ये पूर्वे वयसि मुख्यया वा वृत्त्या अस्मै अन्नदाय अन्नं राध्यते. The person who has given food this way, that person also gains food in an prime age, abundance of food, right? That already we have seen. Annavan annado bhavati is samruddham annam, right? So like there is a adequate food is gained by this person at an young age itself, purve vayasi. And also what? Mukhya vritya. In a very respectable way, that person will get. See, you can earn money. You earn money in a very respectable way. Like that, you earn food in a very respected way. People come and give you in a very respectable. That's why Mukhya vritya annadaya annam radhyate yata dattam upatishtati. Upadishtate ityartaha. Like you have given, so will you gain. Similarly, evam madhyataha madhyame vayasi madhyamena va upacharena tata antataha ante vayasi jaganyena va upacharena paribhavena. So similarly, he says the two other things. If in the middle age you feed, or madhyamena va upacharena, you do a reasonable upachara, not with puja bhava, then you also gain the same way. However, you just start feeding only in a later age, ante vayasi jaganyena va upacharena, so without a proper upachara, then tata eva asmai radhyate samsiddhyati annam. That person gains it the same way. इति य एवं वेद यः एवं अन्नस्य यथोक्तं माहात्म्यं वेद तद्दानस्य यथोक्तं फलम् उपनमेते. So if you understand this about annam, so you feed, you get fed. That's what it is. Okay, that is the mahatmyam, because food is a cycle. Bhagavan has created food for every jivarashi, right? Every animal and insect gets its food. And the Srishti, Bhagavan is in the form of food, and if it we become a conduit for getting the food reach those people. That's how we should look at it. Not that I have achieved something by gaining all this wealth and food, because there is no truth in it. Kshema iti vachi, yoga kshema iti pranapanayoh, karmeti hastayoh, gatiriti padayoh, vimuktiriti payau, iti manushi samajnyaah, ata daivihi, triptiriti vishtau, balamiti vidyuti, yashayiti pashusu, ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिः अमृतमानंद इत्युपस्ते सर्वमित्याकाशे. These are all upasanas. इदानीं ब्रह्मणः उपासना प्रकारः उच्यते. How do you contemplate on Brahman? What is your upasana? Because here you can see, right, Bhashyakara uses freely Brahmanaha upasanam, because Brahmanandavalli has already given the Lakshana for Brahman. So very elaborately, right, by not only Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, there are multiple other things which have been told. So Bhashyakara says Brahmanaha upasana prakaraha uchyate. Spelled wrong, upasana it is saying there, but upasana prakaraha uchyate. How, what upasana you do? Kshema iti vachi. In the walk, in the speech, you contemplate that Brahman is in the form of Kshema. What is Kshema? Kshemo nama upatta parirakshanam. Whatever you have gained, you protect. Protection of what has been gained is called Kshema. And you contemplate that in your walk, that protection, the Brahman is in the form of that protection. Okay. Kshemo bhavatu. We say, right? So you contemplate that Kshema is in on your Brahman is in your tongue in the form of Kshema. Like that you contemplate. Brahma vachi Kshema rupena pratishtitam iti upasyam. Clearly Bhashyakara says Brahma, the Parabrahman, is Kshema rupena in the form of Kshema, vachi pratishtitam, resides on the tongue. Iti upasyam, may you contemplate this way. Yoga kshema iti yogaha. Then what is the vakya? Yoga kshema iti vachi is how it started. Yoga kshema iti pranapana yoho. In prana and apana, may you meditate yoga and kshema. May you contemplate. And what is yoga and kshema? Bhashyakara, yoga kshema iti yogaha anupatasya upadanam. Kshema is already told. Now yoga has to be said, right? Anupatasya upadanam. So kshema is upatasya pariraksham, protecting. Suppose you have a wealth, yoga kshemam mahamyaham, like our LIC says, no? So protecting the wealth, the value of wealth, right? Time value of money. Anupatasya upadanam yoga. Securing what is already not there is yoga. Tauhi yoga kshemau. Pranapanayoho. Satoho bhavatah yadyapi tatapi na pranapana nimittau eva kim tarhi brahma nimittau. Yoga kshema is available only when you have prana and apana, correct? But then Bhashyakara says your yoga kshema is not because of prana and apana, but only because of Brahman. It is the Brahman which is giving you yoga kshema. Because of your punya papa, you have the yoga kshema, and it has nothing to do with pranapana, because pranapana also is dependent on Brahman only. Therefore, yoga kshema is not dependent on pranapana, but only on Brahman. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, yoga kshemo pranapanayoho satoho bhavataha idyapi tatapi na pranapana nimittau eva kim tarhi brahma nimittau. Tasmate brahma yoga kshematmana pranapanayoho pratishtitam iti upasyam. So may you do the upasana that the yoga kshema is, the Brahman is in the form of yoga kshema on the prana and apana. So you contemplate that prana is yoga, apana is kshema, right? Why? Because prana you are inhaling. Inhaling is yoga, right? Acquiring things which is not there already with you is yoga. Kshema is retention. So apana vritti, apana vayu, you just contemplate as though it is kshema. Earlier it said on tongue you contemplate Brahman in the form of kshema. But now apana is where you are contemplating for Brahman in the form of kshema. But yoga kshema you contemplate on pranapana as though Brahman is the one which is in the form of yoga and kshema. Okay, so hope it is clear. Tasmat Brahma yoga kshema atmana pranapanayoho pratishtitam iti upasya. These are all upasana. Okay, because here the connection is only because you are inhaling and exhaling. That's all, right? Otherwise, there is no connection. Why yoga and why kshema? because Shastra is asking you to contemplate. It is, you recognize that Brahman is the one which is giving you Yogakshema, but you contemplate this Yogakshema, which is actually Brahman, as though it is on Prana and Apana. Evam Uttareshu Anyeshu Tena Tenatmana Brahma Eva Upasyam. Okay, so what is the other things? Karma iti hastayoho, gati iti padayoho. Karma, Brahman is in the form of karma in your hand. Brahman is the one which is in the form of movement in your pada. Brahman is the one which is in the form of vimukti, release on other organs which are releasing things from your body. Iti manushihi samajnaha. So in the form of manushya anga activities, may you, so this is in the vyashti, right? In the vyashti, this is how you contemplate. Ata daivihi. Now you look at samashti or devi things, right? That the things which are done by devas, devatas, like Vrishtau in rain. What do you contemplate on rain? Vidyuti. What do you contemplate on lightning? Pashushu. What do you contemplate on the Pashus, animals? What do you contemplate on Nakshatreshu? Kshatra. So in the Vyashti, because we are coming towards the end of today's session, we will cover this in detail in the next class, but I want to give a summary picture, right? So Shastra is asking you to do contemplation both in the form of Brahman only. We are not contemplating on a Devata. Like in Sikshavali, it was all Devata Upasana because the Brahman has not been revealed by that time. Now this is Bhriguvalli which comes after Brahmanandavalli. So your contemplation is only of the Brahman. But the same Brahman in the Vyashti Samashti, you look at it, contemplate, hey, in my tongue, this is how the Brahman is. In my pranapana, this is how the Brahman is. Like in my hand, this is how the Brahman is. In my pada, this is how the Brahman is. So like that you contemplate in Vyashti. And Samashti also, you look at the different Devata functions and then see how Brahman is. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, right, I am in the form of Samaveda. I am in the form of Nakshatra. Amongst Nakshatra, I am in the form of Chandra, Shashi. Like that he says, so you, wherever there is an Utkrishta thing in the Srishti, and then you contemplate that Bhagavan or Brahman is in that form. It's all contemplation. So here also, in the Daivi, in Vrishti is a big function, right? Because of rain only, food is. So it's a big function that Bhagavan has created, or Bhagavan is in the form of. Now that Brahman in the Vrishti, how do you contemplate? As Tripti, because Vrishti creates Tripti, satisfaction. It has been raining in Chennai for the last so many months and people are happy, right? There won't be water problem for next 2 years. At least that's what we think. Now there is a tripti, there is satisfaction, right? So contemplate that Brahman is in the form of satisfaction in Vrishti. Is how Shastra talks about. So we'll see in detail in next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ವಿಜಯ್.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.